Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartell in with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we go to Stream City itself, East Palestine, home of the Lady Bulldogs, with head coach William Franklin over there of East Palestine. Coach, how we doing today?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad as we get ready for this basketball season and gearing up for the start. The regular season is going to be here before we know it. What are some of the names and faces that are going to be returning on your East Palestine team this year, and what are some new names maybe that Palestine fans will have to get to know here coming up for this season?
Yeah, we returned a lot from last year. We only graduated 2 seniors. We returned 1 senior, Maya Lee. She's going to be the one that kind of drives our team this year, kind of leads us with just her athleticism, her intensity. The thing about her is, she played for us first time her sophomore year during COVID year. And we only played about 13, 14 games. Then her junior year last year, she broke her wrist like our 3rd game of the year and then came back and played maybe 3 or 4. So for a senior in our program, she only has about maybe 20 basketball games under her belt. So, even though she doesn't have a lot of experience, we're still going to lean on her a lot. Another girl we're going to lean on is Leila Martin. She started for us as a sophomore last year, ran the point, did a pretty good job defensively. So we're going to rely on her on both ends of the floor as well. I return a lot. Like my junior class, I return everybody. They played a lot of minutes last year just because of our numbers. So we also have Gabby Andre. She's going to be in there a ton for us. Jasmine Lute and Mara Zimmerman are going to play our posts or power forward. So those girls are ones that everyone should know already. Then I bring in a new player this year, Sierra Lee. It's her first year playing. She's going to play down in the paint for us, hopefully get a lot of rebounds and help us out down there underneath. And then I have 2 incoming freshmen, Cami Kreidler. She's going to handle the ball a little bit for us. She's a good shooter. And then I also have Amara Wilson, another freshman who's going to see some playing time as well this year.
What was the off-season development? I know with East Palestine, with those girls too, I've heard those names on multiple other sports too. Yeah. There are multiple sport athletes there. But what were basketball-centered focus things that you wanted to look at in the off-season, or that maybe you guys discussed with on things you wanted to work on and improve going into this year?
Going into this year, we kind of already had a feeling we'd be low numbers. We didn't think we'd have as low numbers as we have currently. But that's our situation. So we're trying to make the best of it. This summer was the first time we jumped into a summer league out at West Branch. And we really enjoyed it. I think, we learned and those girls got to grow a lot in that West Branch summer league because there's some tough competition there. And, we only were able to bring 5 girls every night just because of some girls have prior commitments and, how summer schedules get. So we were fine. We had 5 and, they played hard. They learned a lot that summer and it was very beneficial for us. And it helped us as a staff and as even the players to understand where we are heading into this season. And, things that we do well and the things that we still need to continue to work on, we're able to identify early in the summer. And now those are things that we're trying to fix through our scrimmages and this first part of our practice schedules.
I think if you look a little bit and read in between the lines of last year's schedule, you would see there is a lot of close competition games in there. A lot of games, 6-7 point differential, which could have gone your way. What needs to go right this year, and what are the things that you need to see change from last year to this year to turn those close losses into victories?
I think our biggest thing is we need to understand, basketball is a fast-paced sport. You can't dwell on a turnover, a missed shot, missed assignment on a defensive end. You only have a couple seconds, and we just got to keep playing. Go to the next play. It's over with, forget about it, and let's go. I think we did a better job of that in the summertime. That was part of that mental part of the game where the girls got a little more confident, and, you mess up, it's okay. Let's go. Let's get on the other end and transition, whether it's offense or defense, and, you're not going to make up for it right now. Just keep playing and keep working. So I think for us, like you said, those 6 to 8 point games that, we dropped last year, I think a lot of that's going to come down to this year, our confidence and just, sticking with it. We're going to have to win some games by grinding it out, and they might not be pretty games sometimes, but, as long as we can get in that win column, we'll be happy. So I think our biggest thing is just that mental aspect of, understanding stuff happens in basketball. We just got to turn the page and go to the next play.
To talk more specifically, let's go into this EOAC conference a little bit. It's always tough year in and year out, always great competition throughout. What do you see needs to, or what do you think needs to be done in order for you guys to start, building off of last year's conference record and try to ultimately get to that goal of getting a conference crown once again?
Yeah, I think it's, like you mentioned, the conference is pretty tough. I think there's a lot of balance. The upper portion is, there's some good teams up there. Southern Local, United, and Columbiana. Right now they're the three I think that the rest of us are kind of chasing. United just has the numbers, the size, speed. They got kids all over the place, and then Southern's the same thing. They have a ton of girls out there playing. Numbers are up. The one girl, Schroed's girl, she finds a way to score no matter what. And Columbiana, they've ran the league for a while, and they're not going to be down for long. I wouldn't think so. And they return a ton of kids too. So I would think those three are going to be, towards the top there. And then the rest of the league, I still think Lisbon's going to be very good. They return a ton of kids. Latonia has a lot coming back. Wellsville, I think they started a lot of freshmen last year, so they bring back a lot. Valley, they got a couple girls there can score the basketball, and then, then we're still there. And like I said, and I think there's a lot of balance. You're going to see a lot of close games, even with those top tier teams, and the rest of us are still going to be trying to strive to get up to where those guys are. So it's going to be a real balanced effort, and like you said, you got to start off well. I think we open up with Lisbon, maybe our third game of the year for league play. So right off the bat, we don't have much warm-up time, not a lot of out of conference to start with. I think we have 2 out of conference games, and then, we're in the league play already. So, you got to start off well and put yourself in good position and just, see how we do until February.
And if I'm not mistaken, you pushed that Lisbon team towards the end of the season in overtime last year as well.
That's one of both those games actually with us in Lisbon. I think at home they got us by, it was like a single-digit game once again, and then at home, on the road at Lisbon, we gave up I think we had like a double-digit lead at some point, and then we let it slip away. And then it's tough to win in overtime on the road, and so yeah, that was a very, very very good basketball games. That our record didn't look very well last year, but we had 2 starters injured the whole year. So that was tough. But in hindsight, now that we gained a lot of experience for those younger kids that are now our juniors. They got a lot of experience under their belts. So hopefully, like you mentioned earlier, we can take those 6 to 8 point games and hopefully turn those around to some wins this year. But yeah, our Lisbon games last year, both of them were tight and exciting. It was good high school basketball. So we're hoping we can do that again, but just come out on the winning end this time.
You're talking about balance, and I think your schedule provides a lot of that balance. Obviously, the league plays tough. You're going to have to play those league games, but I'm talking non-conference wise. It seems like there's a fair amount of winnable games in the non-conference, but you're also going to challenge yourself in a couple of these games as well. Talk about this conference, or I should say conference. Talk about this whole schedule that you guys have put together this season and how you think it's going to help you guys fare getting ready for a tournament.
Well, we're playing some teams that we've never scheduled before. And some of that was to, with our roster to help us out a little bit to gain some confidence for league play and towards the end of the year in the tournament time. We're going to play some teams we've never played before. I don't think we've played Mineral Ridge since maybe my first or second year, and I couldn't even tell you what league we're in at that point. I don't know if it was the upper and lower ITCL, red, white, and blue. I'm not sure.
They moved around a little bit for sure.
I'm not sure what we were in at that point, but we played Ridge a couple times. We've never played Chaney, so we got Chaney on the schedule. East, we used to scrimmage a little bit. We played them in summer league, so we picked up East. Lordstown's a team that we picked up, and we're actually moved that game to a doubleheader with the boys now, since I don't think they have JV right now. And Heartland's a team we've always kind of played. COVID kind of got rid of that a little bit, and so we got them back on the schedule twice. It's a nice game to play. We worked with those guys a little bit in the summer before, so having Heartland back on there is nice. A couple other teams, like Liverpool. We've been playing Liverpool the last couple years, so we kept them on the schedule this year. And just a couple different games to get us prepared, get us some good minutes, and things like that. Another team we added on there was Camel. I think Camel is a good matchup for both schools. So we're just looking at right now, right out of the gates. We open up there with Chaney and then Mineral Ridge. So those first 2 games, we'll really find out where we are getting ready into EOIC play.
And looking at this season too, I mean, you guys always seem to get great support no matter what the team's doing, up season, down season. You've been through it all, and you keep on coming back too. What's that love like for East Palestine, and what keeps you coming back and keeps you representing this athletic program and this team?
Well, it all starts with the kids. They're the ones who put in the time in the summer in the weight room. We put them through a lot of stuff in the summer between the weight room, or jump stretch program, open gym, summer league. We have a couple of them now that are in our class during the school day that, they're still working out and stuff, and then they're attending practice. And like you mentioned before, all those names I mentioned earlier, you've heard before, because they all play volleyball. They all play cross country or run cross country. They all play softball. We have a lot of multi-sport athletes, so we got to get along and share our athletes. And, that's something we do a great job of, I think, of here at East Palestine. And yeah, you're right. We have been all over the place. We've had rough years, we've had great years, and it just happens in small schools. You're up and down depending on your roster and things like that. So, but the kids always work hard, and that's what it comes down to. That's what I care about. We step on the floor. Are we working hard? Are we trying to get better a little bit each day? If we can get that 1% better each day, we're going to be okay. We're going to be all right, and we're going to love our results no matter what it is, if it's win or loss. As long as we're giving it our all and we're competing as best we can, the results will happen. So, yeah, that support has always been there. Like I said, it's all about the kids. As long as the kids are enjoying themselves, they're getting better each day. They're working. They're building they're building skills. They're building the skills, working together, communication, problem solving. That's what we're about right now. And as long as they stick with it, we're going to be happy with the results. And, we always get that support from our fans, and our parents do a wonderful job, taking care of the kids, making sure they have what they need. So, yeah, I enjoy my time, and, I like coaching this team.
This team definitely is going to be, I think, fun to watch this year, especially with all the returners that you have. And no doubt smaller schools, have to deal with different sets of challenges than the bigger schools, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But I kind of am curious too, being in the position you are as a head coach, what are some of the challenges you see that kids have to face today in their own personal lives that maybe we didn't have to face as much when we were athletes and we were playing back in school? What are some of the present day challenges that you see these kids have to face?
I think, it is a lot. It's a little more difficult because everybody knows about everything they do, with social media. I mean, social media is a great thing. Like, when we were in school, this stuff didn't exist. I know Facebook wasn't around, none of that. No social media was around when I was in high school. And, you only found out about people from the newspaper. You had to buy the Morning Journal or the Vindicator to find out, to scout your opponents, whether it was football, basketball. That's how you found out about who you played. We didn't build those relationships with other kids from other schools because, we didn't connect with them because we didn't have that platform, I guess. So at the same point, social media has done a great job, like having these interviews, having the player interviews. The kids get to, showcase themselves and their talents and their hard work in and out of the classroom. I also think, there's a little more pressure now because, after a game, boom, it's on social media. Everyone sees what your score was, how many points you had and things like that. There's write-ups and, so they I think they're held to a little more, I don't know. It seems like, it's like a little more pressure because everybody just knows what's going on. And it's that instant feedback. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like say if we're playing Lisbon, we know we're playing them next. I know my girls they're looking on YSN, they're looking on whatever it is to see who scored what and see the points and things like that. They're kids, and I know we would have did the exact same thing if we had that, I guess, advantage when we were kids.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time. I say, we talk about it on our shows about we're probably a coach's worst nightmare because coaches try to keep everyone within the game right then and there. We're supposed to talk about what's happening, upcoming, and storylines.
There's I guess there's no secrets anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like even with film, like you can't everyone has everyone's film.
You can watch one too.
You can pay a couple bucks to get a game if you want it. So it's just different now. You know what I mean? All this stuff's out there. It's not like you're hiding secret things unless you have those in your back pocket that you're, just waiting on for that opponent. But other than that, everything's out there. You can watch other teams play. So it is great that these kids are getting to do that. Like, or if you have parents and family members that just don't live around here, they can still watch their family members play and keep up with what they're doing. So that's pretty cool for those kids.
I want to know some of the other coaches that are going to be helping you out deal with the family members and kind of make sure that these kids are having a great season and developing them going forward. I'm curious about who's on the staff and who other big names in this East Palestine program that you'd like to shout out.
All right, so we have Coach Barrett. She's coming back with me again. I think this is her, 6th or 7th season. Coach Barrett's back. She does a great job with helping develop our younger kids, getting them ready for me for varsity. And just another voice on the floor and on the bench and things like that. New coach this year, one of my former players. We're getting her feet wet here in the basketball world. Jocelyn Fristick. I'm pretty sure people know who she is. She's a pretty great shooter for us back in the day. So she's taking over right now. She's coming in and she's volunteering for us. She's working with the girls. So just having another voice on the floor, a former player that's played in our system and been in our program and had success. So she's going to do a great job for us and helping with the kids and their development. And she's someone those young kids can look up to as well.
We're definitely excited for you guys this season too. We're excited to see the development of these girls going into this year. Very fun team to watch a year ago, and I'm excited to see what EOAC play has in store for the Bulldogs this year. This has been another edition of Coach's Corner with East Palestine girls basketball head coach William Franklin.
Thanks, man.